I've had encounters with people who honestly scare me after I walk away. But in the moment when I'm just purely tuned in and I'm like hyper, like focused, and I'm just in this flow state and interacting with them, I get that calculating mind kind of goes offline and I do the calculations afterwards. In the moment, I don't feel fear. I can pick up on things very clearly. And it's almost like the exact perfect words come to me that help me to maneuver and not just get away from this person, but really be there. And it's this fearlessness and honestly love that I feel emanating in those moments. It almost feels scientific to me, not in that it's cold, but it's sterile in its warmth. So I want to talk about something that's pretty challenging and quite complex. I don't know if I'm going to get it right. I don't know if the words are going to flow correctly out of my mouth, but we will see. I hope so. But I might not say the right words or communicate it perfectly, and if we need another video, we'll make another video. So hi, if you're new here, I'm Yanique Bell. I'm a trauma-informed certified intimacy coach, and I'm here to help you experience soul deep love. And as a part of that mission, I've been thinking about this week on not just this week, to be honest. I feel like all my life. I've been pondering what it means to love, and specifically love those who we deem and see as wrong and bad. And it's also Thanksgiving week, so I know that this conversation is quite relevant for many of us. I have some notes here, but I think I might go off script, even though I usually do anyways. But perhaps I won't follow the plot as much as I initially thought, because as I'm looking at my notes, I'm like, I don't know, I'm not connecting to them as deeply as I did when I wrote them. So I think I'm just going to challenge myself to say the thing that I think is weird or I think others won't agree with or understand. The reason why I felt called to this work and why again and again I feel pulled into this line of work of coaching and guiding and speaking on relationships and self-love and how to connect to the deeper self. The reason for that is because I've had so many difficult and challenging relationships in my life since I was a little girl, since I was an embryo, right? And as I look back at my life's journey so far, there is that consistent theme of wanting to understand what's going on here in these relationships that aren't working, that I'm witnessing, whether that's in my family life or in my community. What is going on and why are these people still at this? And why is it difficult for me to connect at times? I've definitely gotten quite a lot of answers in the past few years, and I share them on here, obviously. And it is a joy to be able to gift this wisdom to others, not just to you guys, but just like as a mentor to other family members and anyone who is asking for support in my personal life. But okay, I feel like I'm feeding around the bush a bit. I think what I want to say is we all have this need for justice, or a lot of us do, and this desire for those who have done wrong and awful things to come to justice. And there are entire religions based on this human desire for justice. If we can't have it here in this physical plane, may we have it in the afterlife. But when I personally tune into my deeper self, I sense that all of reality and our spiritual existence is a lot more scientific, in that it's impersonal, yet deeply personal. And I would love to hear what your experience is, whether it's in your own meditation practice or your spiritual practice in general and prayer. But I don't sense that there is this all-knowing being that is in judgment. It is personal in the sense that it cares for all of us, but it's impersonal in the sense that it isn't vengeful. It isn't vengeful. In order for there to be vengeance, there would need to be a personal kind of over-attachment to one individual at the expense of setting things right by that individual and punishing others. And that isn't to say that there aren't karmic results for your actions. What you put out tends to come back. But I don't think it's this even equation of what you exactly do onto others will be done to you. There is an exactness to it in that it is almost like a scientific equation of the energy that is being emitted. It finds its way back to you. It's going to have a back ripple effect onto you, but the degree of suffering is not part of that equation. In fact, bad actors, psychologically, they don't suffer. Psychologically, they have barriers that prevent them from really feeling the shame that, yes, of course, drives them, or the guilt or the empathy that should be there. Psychologically, they aren't going to feel that. They're never going to suffer nearly as much as the victim. Someone could spend their entire life doing harm unto others, have a few years in jail where they feel still embrazened and like the tough guy, and simply find new victims. And that is really tough to sit with, to digest, to understand. And so that's just really hard on the mind. So there's that level. But on the other side of things, meaning spiritually, I do sense and feel, even when I tune into my own deeper self, that there isn't a tally score. There's not even a sense of a threat. There is only present moment awareness. I've had encounters with people who honestly scare me after I walk away. But in the moment when I'm just purely tuned in and I'm like hyper focused and I'm just in this flow state and interacting with them, I get that calculating mind kind of goes offline and I do the calculations afterwards. But in the moment, I don't feel fear. I can pick up on things very clearly. And I it's almost like the exact perfect words come to me that help me to maneuver and not just get away from this person, but really be there. And it's this fearlessness and honestly love that I feel emanating in those moments. It's not a love that is like, okay, now I'm going to cling to you and attach to you and we're going to be best buddies. It's not like that. It's a different kind of love. It feels like presence. It feels like forgiveness, but more so in the sense that I have released any debt that you owe me relationally in that moment. I'm aware of who you are. I can sense the deeper beingness within you, but I'm not holding anything in fear, in resentment, or even in hope. And I do believe that is how Source holds all of us. And when we are in meditation and the recipient of this depth of holding and love, it feels good. It feels great. And to think that someone who is just horrible to their core is being held with that love as well That can be hard. And yet, this is why it almost feels scientific to me. Not in that it's cold, but it's sterile in its warmth. There is this kind of sense of this is a living thing, this is a soul, and it deserves love. And so we're gonna feed it with love. And it could be muddy and icky and bad and awful. And this is just the protocol. I typically like to give a lot of practical tips and like do this, do that. Even when talking to friends, one of my resolutions for this year was to stop giving unsolicited advice because I am very much a problem, solve it. And that's what makes me a great coach. But I've been resting in this awareness of where my journey has taken me and transforming from like just trying to figure out relationships. Like, what is this? Let's learn the terms. Let's learn the practical stuff to this more, it's there. I don't have, if I'm being honest, I don't have guidance, cookie cutter guidance for anyone other than tune in to your deeper self. If I could come online and just say that over and over again and you be satisfied and you want to work with me and just come into a session and I'm just like, tune in, tune in, tune in. I would. I would. That would be my ultimate dream. I'm at a stage in my own journey now where, and even looking back at the things that I've experienced, you know, one crazy experience is I was very limerent for someone who was an abusive person, but I didn't even realize it at the time. Man, I've come such a long way. I've been that kind of doughy-eyed, see the good in everyone kind of person my whole life. And the last few years, Lord, ciao. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be here. It was hard. It was a hard pill to swallow. And I think I've digested it. I've integrated it into my system, but definitely I just wanted to poop it out when it happened. But, you know, I had a moment where I was very limerent, and really what it is I was in the midst of a trauma bond and gone through the procedural like love bombing, evaluation, discard without realizing it, because I'm just so optimistic and like, what's not to love about me? What's the problem? Our relationship seems great. Our relationship seems great, right? I've just been such a happy-go-lucky person. But I was so limerent and to things that, like, rationally, it's like, no, I shouldn't, but I feel really called to do this. I feel really called to do this. This sounds like crazy girl territory, but I actually feel deeply called to do this. I know I'm not crazy and I know I have self-respect, but there's something spiritually that's telling me to go and do this. And that taking those quote unquote crazy ex-girlfriend actions actually led to me saving another woman. And so there's just moments like that, and it's happened again and again, where it's like doing the thing that is technically not what I would advise anyone, any client of mine, but I spiritually feel I have to do this. There's clarity on the other side of this. And so there's this disintegrating of, perhaps this is the weird thing I want to say. There is this disintegrating of these categories of right and wrong, and right action, wrong action. And we hear stories like this all the time. People who do things that are technically like it's not the thing you're supposed to do, but it ends up getting them the job, right? They stand out. They take a risk and they go and they do it. A recent example of this that I saw was the ladies from The Office, and they were talking about how, I can't remember if it was the woman who plays Angela, I think it was, to get her first job in the industry, she called up and pretended like she had an internship. She's like, hi, Marge, like, I'm calling about my internship. Yep, I'm supposed to be there Monday. She doesn't even like live in New York, but she's like, Mom, Dad, got a job. I'm going to New York this weekend. Like, doing things that most of us would say that's wrong and that's cheating and you shouldn't do that. But something in her told her, that's what you got to do. Go do that thing. And as someone who's very much like strong, justice minded, never cheated, I mean, I went to Princeton University and I worked my butt off and I never cheated. I've been that person of like, I don't cheat, I don't lie, I don't do this, I don't do that. And that has kind of dissolved in the past few years, and just kind of like recognizing things aren't as clear cut and black and white as we want them to be, and as simple as we want them to be. We don't live in a vengeful universe where some of us will go to a happy place and then some of us will go to a bad place and blah, blah, blah. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I do think that's a kind of a kid's story. It's something that a simplicity we wish was true. I mean, how would you even parse that out? How would you parse that out? Truly, truly. Is anyone perfectly good? Even if you were vegan from within the womb, I guarantee you've stepped on an ant. And so what I've struggled with in trying to get, I don't even know, marketing, trying to put myself out there, hey, come work with me. And this has been something I've struggled with from the beginning, is I don't feel called to tell you what to do. And I've kind of done more of it recently because I think we all want that to some degree, and that's what I feel works for a lot of people seeking coaching or guidance. But is this like am I like breaking the fourth wall in a really bad way here? I don't know. I'm like, is this a pivot? Is this a big moment for me? That I'm just casually talking, saying out loud in this video. Well, we're here. I don't like to do that. I wish I didn't feel the need to do that. And maybe this is the moment I stopped doing that. And now I'm wondering if it's the fourth wall or is it the fifth wall? And why are these walls numbered? What do they represent? Is it like the TV box? Like breaking the glass, you know, old time TVs where it was a big box, one wall. Oh, that's more than one wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to dealing with difficult people, there is a part of you that is aware, yes, of who they are, who see them clearly. No bueno, no goodo, not going to be a fun time. And still, it can show up to these conversations with a level of depth of presence and love where the conversation, it feels like you're floating. It feels like you are, you know, when you meet someone who you just click with and like when you guys talk, it's like da 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 da. It can feel like that, even with someone who you don't necessarily agree with, who you don't necessarily feel is a good person. You can actually tune into such a state of flow that something comes about that you couldn't have planned, that you couldn't have scripted, like this moment for me. Something unfolds. And I can't tell you what it's gonna unfold. I can't tell you if it's gonna be on paper what you want or what you don't want. You might get clarity. You might finally let yourself feel angry about something that you've been holding pent up anger around. It's not going to look like this. I channeled love and I poured love into even those I don't agree, and I left feeling love. If all things are good and information, if this universe is scientific and sterile yet warm, then all of it just flows into each other. There's nothing wrong with the anger. It can potentially lead to a breakthrough. There's nothing wrong with the grief. There's nothing wrong with the joy. There's nothing wrong with any of it. It's all just consciousness interacting with itself. And that's the weird thing. And it's incomplete. And it's not... it's not anything I could write in a book and end with like a period. Word. Quote me today. It just all is. And so I hope that was helpful. I know it wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe we did something here and you felt it too. Maybe you did. Yeah. I do actually give practical steps though. I do actually help clients tune into their deeper self and actually feel what the practical steps are for you. I can't tell you what it is for all of us. Yeah. And that feels real and true. And a sigh of relief. Yeah. Feels honest. Not that I feel like I've been lying, but I feel like since I've felt called to share the deeper self teachings, I've been trying to be relatable and make sense. But I want to talk to a part of you that isn't making sense. That doesn't operate on logic, perhaps, but feeling and love and energy and vibration and just this constant sense that everything's going to be okay. All is well. Yeah, I don't know what video I'm even going to follow this up with. Where do we go from here? What have I done? I literally feel like I finally got into a groove with the codependency videos because, quite frankly, the past few years have been hellish. I think this country's going crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? Of all the places to be stuck in? And there's a lot of good things, but my God, this place is weird. This is my Dairy Girl accent. If you've seen the Dairy Girls, when I start talking like this, I get stuck like this for quite a while. But what I want to say is that, turning it off, what I want to say is, honestly, it's been quite difficult to get conscious sexuality messaging out. I mean, oh Lord, the things. I'm tired. I really am tired. And it's hard for me to ask for help. And I do feel that I also know that oftentimes, being the skin color I am, there's an expectation, and being as intelligent as I am, there's an expectation for me to figure it all out, or that I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And I I'm not always okay. And then when I ask for help, I don't always receive that help. And so, yeah, it's been hard trying to find the right way to say things without getting accounts banned on social media. And then I'll see videos of other people speaking openly about
Too spicy.
sex, but they're not doing it to empower women or educate. And so for some reason that's okay, but the educational stuff is not. The shame busting stuff is wrong. I just don't really get it. I don't really get it. I will never understand. Just on a basis of fact and logic, our society works better when women are empowered. Period. Yeah. And also, women are also part of the problem. We are also part of the problem because we're holding the problem in our DNA while we're trying to solve the problem. And I felt this frustration of wanting to teach, but also still processing my own shame. And then being banned, blocked, all these things also feed into my shame. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, you guys. And so I finally felt like I found a Trojan horse in these codependency teachings, because I think at the heart of it is so many of us have been conditioned to be codependent, and that's also what keeps the shame around intimacy in our bodies in place, right? And so it's like, I finally found it. I'm gonna get these suckers. But here I am now, feeling like I'm still gonna make those codependency videos, but I also want you to know things are not black and white and clear and people going to good place, people going to bad place, and we're all good. And I should feel shame if I'm ever this, and if I'm ever feeling this, and I should never feel angry. And if I'm spiritual, I kind of feel love and light all the time. And blah. It's all love and light. So cut it out. Cut it out. Okay. Yeah. This feels like it's going to be a new chapter for me. I'm just saying. It's feeling like it's feeling like it's going to be a cute chapter for me, for us. I'm going to end this here. I'm not going to end this here because I need your help. I need you guys to actually show up and help me out. Like I said, I'm looking for, I'm looking to work with people to help them access their deeper self. This is not a prescriptive kind of coaching. I'm not going to tell you what it means to be feminine. I don't mean to be mocking, but like, come on, let's elevate. Enough of this. I'm not going to tell you what it means to be feminine, what it means to be masculine, what it means to be this, what it means to be that. I want to help you get to the core of who you are. I want to help you feel this light and love that is radiating. Literally just like waiting, like, come on. Do you feel it? I want to help you access that. Period. So if that's something you're interested in, I've got an awesome offer. REBIRTH. It is not cheap. Don't be upset with me. I offer a lot of affordable things. I mean, basically worked for free for many years. Take advantage of Soul Deep Lovers Club. It's only $12. We do group coaching. Okay. And because I love you all so much and I couldn't resist. So even though private coaching is an investment, I've done a lot of offers this year to give you opportunities to come in for private coaching way below regular price. I mean, chump change, because I felt so deeply called to do so this year through the nurture sessions, and it was so lovely to work with those of you who took advantage of those. But it is simply not something I can do all year, all the time, and not without your support. I would love to, have seasons where I offer those, but again, private coaching by the nature of it is an investment. But that doesn't mean I don't stand for getting as many women and people in general empowered with these amazing tools to connect to your body, regulate your nervous system, and really master your nervous system. And that's really at the heart of every single thing I offer, whether it's expanding your pleasure during intimacy, or like with rebirth, rebirthing yourself, right? After trauma, after grief, after deep loss, using that pure raw energy, the energy around that, alchemizing it to take yourself on a transformational journey, which is what those moments in our life are calling us to. Some of those moments, I don't know about you, but it feels like destiny, like I was meant to go through this and experience this at this time. I couldn't have avoided it. It felt like it was written into my life path. So if you feel that and you know that rebirthing is being called forward from you, you can't resist it, I want to help you alchemize that. So that's what rebirth is for. But I've created a group version of it, a smaller 4-week journey that is just focused on learning how to regulate your nervous system and come back to safety. That's the first portion of rebirth. The first month, we're really focusing on that. And so that first month, I've created a group coaching offer, which you get to pay what feels good. You get to pick the price that works for you, starting as low as $99. So if you can't make the big investment into rebirth, but you still want the tools to regulate your nervous system and help with that rebirthing, or just learn how to do this on a regular basis so that life doesn't have to bring you to your knees every time. So I want to give you those tools. And so that is what Soften and Replenish is for. 4 weeks. The first segment starts December 10th in just a few days. So if you're catching this video, come and join us. And I hope to bring this back in the future. So check the link in the description and see if one is coming up. But yeah, if you want to learn how to navigate this rocky life with a regulated nervous system and know how to create safety from within, come and join us. I am really excited to have you. So yeah, big investment, but I'm still here to help you. For all of us who, it's just not that season. Maybe you have kids, or you just recently retired and you're just looking for support. That's where the group spaces are for. So come into the group coaching. If that is even to beyond what you can do right now, again, Soul Deep Lovers is for you. I love you. I hope you feel that. And I hope you know there's so much support. There's, not just me, there's so many people on YouTube giving away so many resources to help you. So don't ever feel like an investment point means that you're not going to be able to go on that journey. The universe will provide you with the opportunity. Yes, private coaching is worth it, but the opportunities, they're just endless. They're endless. So don't ever put yourself in that mental space. And when you feel the yes, take the leap and invest in yourself. I also never regret making the investment, because you get so much more. It's that yes, having that held space between two people. Oh, that's juicy. Can't be replaced. But if you do want to go deep with me, come on in. I am so excited for rebirth, and I won't use the words too much. I'm probably gonna have to bleep so much out of this video so that's not like in some weird corner of YouTube. But if you genuinely are intrigued and you'd like to work with me, check out REBIRTH. I'll have the link below. It's 4 months. I've included a lot of sessions. There's a lot of opportunities for trauma healing and working with your nervous system. And we're rebuilding that sense of safety and security and stability felt from the inside. And from there, the spiritual stuff, the, big aha moments, they come naturally. Right? We're going to get you set up with a daily meditation practice. You're going to feel transformed. I mean, it's rapid. When I first had my own breakthrough into this, I just was like, for a good 2 years, it was like every single day, oh my God, like aha moment after aha moment. And I tried to write it all down until it was just like, I'm never going to review these notes. It's too much. It's that like rapid fire upgrade after upgrade and aha moments about where you were getting stuck, or even revelations around past relationships. And I'm at this stage now where I really feel like I'm dissolving, like the trauma memories. They're like, I'm finally at a place where I feel light as a feather. It feels like being reborn. It feels like being a newborn, except you have the wisdom and the body of an actual adult, but without all the wounding holding you back and limiting how you're viewing yourself and your reality. If you want to do that journey, I mean, it's pretty epic, but if you want to do it, come and do it. Come and let's do it. Just come and do it. And if not, stay here, subscribe. I still appreciate you watching and liking, but I really love doing this and I really want to do it with you. So yeah. I'm not maybe the typical woo-woo lady that you'll see on the internet, but I'm woo-woo. I'm not the typical witchy lady, but I'm witchy. And if that's your vibe, we should hang out. And I don't just work with women. I know a lot of my stuff is targeted to women, and I checked the demographics and YouTube mainly shows it to women, but I do work with all genders. It's just really hard. Okay, it's actually kind of difficult to being someone who's spoken unconscious sensuality, to not just kind of being in like the weird place on the internet. I don't know what it is, because I know some people are just successful at this, or maybe they just don't. I don't know. Anyways, I do work with all genders, and I actually really love working with men. So if that's you, if you want to learn more, I know I've only really touched on the surface here, but just tap the link below. And happy Thanksgiving. I know it's hard. It's going to be tough for some of us, but you're going to make it through. And the light within you will continue to shine regardless. I love you. I love you all. And I'll see you next week. Maybe we'll return to our regular programming. I don't know. I really don't know how I follow up this video. I'm like, I really don't know. I meant to film 2 videos today. Yeah, we'll see what comes out next. I might just make myself a meal and think about that. Hit subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Or don't. I don't know. Do whatever. 4 months of deep replenishment, deep healing. We're gonna dive deep. I'm gonna hold your hand through all of it, and you will emerge renewed. You can check out the full breakdown of each session that's included. If you're recovering from narcissistic abuse, I've really catered these specialty sessions specifically for you. If you want to say yes to that journey, check out the details below. Orgasmic Rebirth 2026. Let's do it.